Hey, hey, y'all. So, you know how we do. We gotta wait a second, see if anybody's gonna join into this live. It is February 1st, and it is, hey, Rontel Mom, how y'all doing? Melanin Magics, hey, how y'all doing? Hope y'all joining in on Facebook as well. It is another Monday Musing with Sister Midwife. And as always, I'm going to try to keep it brief and short, but as much as possible on point. And today I really had no idea what I was going to come and talk to y'all about, but all of a sudden, I had an experience on my way home, and I decided I was going to come talk about today on this uh, Monday Musing with Sister Midwife, raising free black children. And what does that look like? What does that feel like when we talk about raising free black children? If you've heard me speak before, you may have heard me talk about this idea, this concept of moving from conscious conception to conscious parenting. And when I talk about birth being the revolution, I even had somebody say to me one time that birth is the revolution is like narrow because it's only talking about birth. And I'm like, no, if you ever listen to me talk and fully understand the vastness and the broadness of which I am speaking of this thing, the birth cannot happen without the conception. And once there is the conception, there's the pregnancy, there's the delivery, there's the birth, the postpartum, and then there's the parenting. So for me, when I say birth is the revolution, I am talking about the entire continuum from conscious conception to conscious parenting. And so today I want to speak really briefly about, no, I'm not in New York. I live in New Orleans, but if you're looking for a black midwife or doula in New York, go to directory.sistermidwife.com. You got me all the way off mama underscore drinks off my topic. So look, let me get back to this topic, right, of conscious conception and conscious parenting. So let me first definitely say that I am no expert. I am the mother of one beautiful, fabulous, just dynamic daughter who is 6 years old. She is my first child who came all the way and survived. She was not the first spirit to visit me, but she was certainly the first child to stay with me. And she's wonderful and I love her, and I was a quote older mother, and so I feel like there are pros and cons and benefits and things to having your children early and having your children later in life. And I just feel very fortunate that was an older mother, because I definitely know that if I had had children in my 20s, I would not be the same mother that I am now. I would not be the same mother that I am now. And so I'm grateful for her for choosing me in this time when I am ready to parent in a way that I think is important, particularly for black people at this time. And so I say all that to say I'm not an expert. I'm just going to give you some of what I believe and what I see and what I have learned and what I have read. So when we think about raising free black children, raising conscientious free black children in a culture, in a society that does not want us to be free, that does not want our children to be free, we have to begin to learn how to do things differently. There is no great example. There is no perfect definition. Whenever I get people asking me about my opinions on motherhood, the one thing that I always say is, number one, I'm not no expert. None of us is perfect, and I have yet to see a perfect person, period. So until I see a perfect person, we understand that there are no perfect parents, because every person comes here through their parents. And when people are coming to me, I don't care how many children they have, what kind of elders they have. Yes, I do listen to what they've done, and like, oh, well, I've raised 5 children, so now I don't know nothing. Well, ma'am, none of your children are perfect. Nor are you perfect, nor am I perfect, nor is my child perfect. So yes, I listen to wisdom from older mothers and older fathers and older parents, but I'm always like, listen, this is all an experiment. She chose me. She chose me in the space that she chose me. She chose me knowing that ultimately I was going to be a mother raising her, not married to her father, knowing that ultimately I was going to be like she chose this life. Right? So that's okay, because she came here to teach me some things, and I pray that I learn those lessons and I'm able to move forward. But today, and let me tell you, look, Joy said I have 5 and I'm still learning, trial and error. It's an experiment to me. And let me tell you something. I have enjoyed experimenting in motherhood. Now, I'm not experimenting with crazy things, but little fun stuff. Like, one of my favorite examples is sign language. Right? So I learned about teaching infants, toddlers sign language, and I thought that's interesting. I've never heard of that. So I'll try it. Not because I thought it was going to work, not because I thought it was the best thing, not because I thought all children should learn sign language, but because I thought it was interesting. I'll give it a try. So I read a little article or two about it. I bought a book. I had one of my friends at my baby shower bought me the video. So I watched the video, read some books, and taught my child like 5 signs. Right after my mother passed, my daughter was being cared for by a friend. And she sent me a text message. She said, sis, I know that you've been teaching your daughter sign language, and she's putting her finger to her lip. What does that mean? What does she want? And I was like, yes, come through, sign language. My baby wants something to drink. My baby wants something to drink. That's what that means. Now, it was because I was trying to teach her water, which is like this, but she couldn't do water, so she did wah-wah. That's what I call it. That's wah-wah. That's water. She couldn't do water, but she could do wah-wah. And so for her, this meant I wanted something to drink. So just that simple thing. And I had an elder who was an educator who I love dearly, who I'm still connected with today. She would say to me, why are you teaching her sign language? You need to be teaching her how to talk. And I'm like, she is learning how to talk. It's not like I only do this. We use words and we use signs simultaneously. And y'all, let me tell you something. Right now, my consciously raised child is yelling at me from the bathroom because she knew I came to do a live. I said, Kaylee, baby, I gotta go do a quick video. I know you're in the tub. I'll be right back. I wanna get out right now. I said, no, let me do my video first. So now she is screaming at the top of her lungs. I'm gonna put y'all on pause real quick so I can go get her. Kaylee. That's conscious parenting, y'all. She knew what I was doing, and she intentionally decided to holler at me, yelling. She was yelling at the top of her lungs. I don't know if y'all can hear her. But see, that's what happens when you try to raise a free black child. And this is exactly why I came to do this video today. So let me tell y'all what happened. I was in a public place, a community center of sorts, and they had a few Mardi Gras decorations out, and it was time for us to leave. We were leaving dance lessons, and we were leaving the building, and I'm talking to someone at the desk, and my daughter picks up the Mardi Gras mask, and she's hiding, and she's playing with the mask, and I mean, I didn't really think much of it. I'm like, okay, girl, whatever. I said, okay, go put the mask back. It's time to go. So the person who was working at the desk said, is that your only child? I said, yes. And his response was, that's why you let her do anything. Well, wait, excuse me? So initially, I attempted to speak with him about why I let my daughter do some things that other people might think is anything. Number one, I listened to Dr. Joy DeGruy, who talked to me, and not me personally, but I was in a lecture of hers and purchased her book, Post-Traumatic Slavery Syndrome, and understood and began to really think consciously about what it means to always snatch my child up and not allow her to roam freely in spaces, particularly when we are in a space where she is safe. This is a community center. There was literally nobody in the lobby except myself, my daughter, and the 2 people behind the desk. And the table where the mask was behind us on the other wall. She was very safe to roam in this area, to touch the mask, the plastic Mardi Gras mask, and the decorations. So then his other response, I think he was thinking in terms of it's COVID and it could be dangerous and all this stuff. And I said, well, I don't want my daughter to feel like she has limitations. And in my mind, that mask didn't have no COVID on it. It's fine, because trust and believe, most of the black mamas that come in there is not letting their child touch that mask. Wasn't nothing on that mask but my daughter fingerprints. Trust and believe that. So yes, you could touch the mask, and I'm not going to snatch you up at every single moment. After I heard Dr. Joy DeGrury's speech, she had come here to New Orleans at Tulane University a few years ago, and I was like, yes, ma'am, I hear you. I received that, and I will not snatch my daughter up and give her the evil eye for dancing out of line, for touching something on the wall, for touching the rope that's in the bank line to keep us in order. No, ma'am, run wild, run free, just like, quote, the white children. Yes, that's how my daughter is in public, and I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm not ashamed. I am teaching her that she too can run this world, that she too has the power to be any and everything and everywhere that she wants to be, and not in this notion of you could be vice president, look at Kamala. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that she has inside of her her the understanding and the discernment. I want to be able to teach her the understanding and the discernment of when it is okay to walk and roam free and when you need to be alert. We also have many conversations about the fact I say, you chose me. And part of my job right now is to protect you. How can I protect you when you don't listen? So when she does go too far to the right or to the left, trust and believe she will get a snatch up if I feel like it's necessary. But in this space, there was no reason for me to say anything to her because she was doing no one any harm, nor was she doing herself harm. And it was a safe environment. So at any rate, I'm attempting for whatever reason to tell this person these things. And he says to me, well, there's limitations in life. I said, well, that's the problem. We're always putting limitations on our children and on our people. We're stifling their mind and stifling their growth before they even have an opportunity to move and to elevate. There will be limitations. I know that. We live in a culture worldwide that does not protect, that does not appreciate, that does not love Black children, Black girls, Black women. I get that. So in the meantime, at the age of 6, if all you want to do is grab a Mardi Gras mask off the table and put it on your face and run around rawr, and pretend and be funny, I'm good with that, because that's how we shift the paradigm. That's how we go from conscious conception to conscious parenting. That's how we raise free Black children. And then they come in your video. Y'all see this thing right here? Kaylee Lee. You think, guess what? You tripping? Yeah. Can you go put some clothes on?
And this is my towel.
You're just in your towel. And this is what happens when you begin to raise them free. Then they sometimes get to be too. And this is what the man was talking about, right? You got limitations. And then here she go. I'm trying not to have too many limitations. I'm trying not to have too many limitations with her. I mean, yes, Black girls are shamed for being free and magical. And the reality is, we are naturally free and magical. Can you tell me the name of the book? Dr. Joy DeGruy, Post-Traumatic Slavery Syndrome. That's her. You could just Google her. And she talks about how we stifle our children's growth in their freedom when we are doing all of the things that we were raised to do. And some of the things that I've chosen to do differently in raising my daughter is when she asks me for something, sometimes I say no, and the answer is simply no. And it really is just no. But I try very often not to simply say, because I said so, which was my mama's answer. Because I said so. Because I'm the mama and I said so. Well, there's more to it than that. And so I try not to use that as an example. And I try not to say anything negative. I try to really either have a conversation and then go sometimes back to protection. Or I go into, it's my time. And it's my time right now to select what we're going to watch on the video. Or it's my time to make a video that is purposeful for the teaching and elevation of our people across the country while you in the background making faces, which is inappropriate. You're being very inappropriate right now. Okay, Delay. You're being inappropriate. Go put some clothes on. Thank you. And that's what happens when we try to raise free Black children. They jump into your live, naked, with a towel on, sticking their tongue out their mouth. So I'm working on all of this. Like I said from the beginning, I'm not perfect. This did not go as I planned it. That's what happens when we are raising free Black children. Melinda, thank you for posting the book in the chat on the Facebook, baby. Look, Dr. Joy DeGruy is everything. You could go watch one of her speeches on YouTube as well. I'm trying to think. There was one last point. Oh, I wanted to give an example to all of my mamas who be combing their hair. And one of the simple things, some of the simplest things that we're doing, that we say, how they can leave an impact on our children's minds. And so when I'm combing her hair and she's in the ow is hurting, that kind of stuff, I never pop, I never cuss, I never hit, I never, go off. I say, baby, I'm sorry. I know it hurts sometimes. Your hair is so strong and powerful. Your hair is just strong and powerful, so it's fighting mama back. But we gonna get it together, because I know you like it when I braid it up and put the beads. I know you like it when you have your puffs and that sort of thing. But I never speak negatively about just something so simple. something so simple for me, I know for me, is a new way of parenting. It's something different that takes us separately and away from the way that we were parented in. I'm just trying to raise a free black girl in the culture and society that doesn't want her to be free. And y'all saw her. She way free, y'all. Oh, Lord help me. I'm going to go to comments before that's how you handled her, was a clear example of how to speak calmly and still be firm. Oh my God, Joy, I be trying it. Oh Lord, baby, and I tell people all the time, I'm not in control. That's the other thing. If we understand, particularly from an African indigenous perspective, that she chose me. She came here to teach me something, to bring her gifts to me, literally in my world. I want to receive it. I want to receive it. And so, and look, Shay says sometimes she take a break from the hair if her children need it. Exactly. It's not that deep. The only people who care, I remember one of my elders was visiting one time, and a friend of mine had done my baby hair for her birthday. It was so super cute. But the new beads, as my friend helped me realize, are not heavy, and they don't hold down the braids in the same way that the old school beads do. So her hair, she had a little bit of extension hair in it. And so they were kind of like sitting stiff. And so we were kind of fussing. I was like, well, maybe if I put more beads on it, maybe if I do this, maybe I do that. Now, she was around here, slinging the beads, thought she was everything. And so my elder said, the only person who worrying about it is you and her. Kaylee, they don't care. Why are you worrying about it? It's like, right. All that stuff, we the only ones. We're concerned about how we're going to be judged if her hair is not a certain way. Or I let Kaylee pick her own clothes, and I just be like, oh, girl, yeah, you look cute today. All right, yeah, you look cute. I hope nobody take no pictures, but I'm not going to make you change your clothes just because. Now, there is a time when I do need you to change clothes. Why? Because we're going to the park and you're going to want to climb the tree, and having on your dress shoes and your stockings, as she calls them, no tea, and having on your stockings is not quite the best outfit for this day trip. So now, when we're getting dressed for the day, she would ask me, are we going outside today? Are we going someplace where I'm going to run around? And then she can make a conscious decision for herself about what to put on. She'll ask, because I'll say, Kaylee, you might not want to put that on. It's hot or it's cold or it's rainy or whatever. So now she knows to ask, is it raining outside? Is it hot? Is it cold? So it's not just because I said so. I'm not going to say it's never just because I said so. Recently, I've had to pull that one out just a little bit. But I really, really, really try not to, because there are so many reasons. There's a reason. And then what it also does for me is when I can't give a reason, oftentimes that means why am I saying no? Like if I can't give a legitimate reason of why I'm saying no, then why am I saying no? I remember having a sister friend of mine who told me, and her daughter just made 3. So her daughter's like 3 years younger than Kaylee. And she said to me, whenever I go to the store, I'm going to make sure if I'm buying something for myself, I'm buying something for my daughter. And I was like, girl, that's too much. That's a lot. You didn't buy something for her. But guess what? Now, I'm not going to say every time we go to the store, I buy something for Kaylee. She will let you know that is not the truth. But I certainly buy things for her way more often than I ever would have thought of, because it's like, right, you buying a 6-pack of Heineken, she can't have a $2 toy? Like, how's that fair? And so it's particularly if I'm buying something for myself that I don't need. If I'm just strictly buying groceries or buying something that we need for the house, then that's different. But if I'm buying like wine and she wants something, I try my best to also honor her and buy her something. So she is back. Hey, honey. You want to say something to the people?
Hello.
What do you want to say?
I just want to say that I like everybody that's on here. I like that everybody likes my pictures and videos.
Thank you for liking her pictures and videos. All right. So with that,
the ones who are on Facebook and Instagram and all those things.
Yes. Thank you. So with that, this is conscious parenting in my life, y'all. Work on it. It's not always easy. I don't have all the answers. But in order for us to get free, we got to do it for our children, baby. Let's parent a little bit different. Calm down a little bit more. Slow down so we could get down with the children. You heard me? All right. We out of here. Talk to y'all later. Jumbo.
Bye-bye, Jumbo.
Peace. Kaylee, girl.